Can you hear me now, Matt?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
I'll be muting myself here in a moment as well.
Okay. All right, good evening and welcome. I'm Keo Elliott Armstrong. I'm chair of the Board of Management for the Junction BIA. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is 7:09 p.m. and I'd like to call our 48th annual general meeting to order. Before we get started with the formal meeting, I will run through a few technical considerations. This virtual format is a new process for us, so we ask for your patience and cooperation. The AGM should last about an hour. If you wish to speak to a motion, we ask that you type the word question in the chat box. The chat button will be at the bottom of your computer or phone screen, but if you don't see it, click the 3 dots. If you are calling into the meeting on the phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *9 on your keypad. Please save all questions until the end unless they pertain to a specific motion. All attendees will be muted throughout the meeting to reduce noise disruptions, and when you are recognized to speak, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself before speaking. Our phones and emails will not be monitored during the meeting. And this meeting is being recorded for accuracy of the minutes. Let us begin the meeting with a quorum of the board. Matt, can you please confirm if a quorum is present?
We do. We have 5 members of the board present.
Okay, thanks, Matt. As 3 board members constitute a quorum, our quorum is met. Now, we acknowledge the land on which the junction is located and where we conduct business is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people. Toronto is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto was covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. And Matt, do we have Ari Farani with us yet?
We do.
Okay, great. So please allow me to introduce Ari Farani, Member of Parliament for Parkdale High Park.
Is that my cue? Hi there.
Hi.
How's it going, guys? Sorry, I just joined. I was a bit late with getting going with getting the kids fed, so I apologize. I was a bit late. Hope you're all doing well. And if this is the opportunity, you want me to just offer a few remarks in this slot right here, Keo?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for doing the First Nations land acknowledgement. That's very, very important. So thank you for doing that. So I just wanted to say hello. I think I'm known to many of you. Just very pleased to be with you at the Junction BIA meeting for this AGM. I see Matthew and I guess is Carol on the line as well, I presume she is, and many of the BIA members. We actually were part of the BIA for a brief amount of time during the campaign when we sort of overtook the old Vesuvio's location. So it was nice to be in the junction properly for that amount of time. But I just wanted to salute the work that all of you do at the BIA, particularly Matt and Carol, and the work you've done throughout the pandemic. Obviously, it's been a difficult time for many small businesses in our community, but the Junction BIA really stands out among many of the local or business improvement associations that I'm privileged enough to represent in terms of the very intense level of activity that you maintain and your embracing of the CaféTO program during the pandemic, but also other initiatives. I'm very much looking forward to see what happens during the holiday period, because I know you've got some very special and promising projects that are going to be underway. And I just wanted to let you know, obviously, I'm happy to take questions at the end, but obviously, you know about the federal supports that were put out during the pandemic, things like the wage subsidy and the rent supports and the CERB program, which morphed into the CRB program. You also know that obviously many of those programs have come to an end, but there are a few ones that are ongoing, and I want to make sure that you knew about those. So the ongoing ones that require some aspect of federal government involvement in terms of passing new legislation are things like the Canada Recovery Hiring Program, which is going to last until May 7th. So that's an important one. And that's for eligible employers with current revenue losses above 10%. and there's an increase in the subsidy rate up to 50%. So what that's about is about getting people back into the workforce, including small businesses in the Junction. And when people are able to come back to the workforce, what the federal government is doing with that subsidy is paying part of the payroll for those hires or recovered hires. There's also something called the Hardest Hit Business Recovery Program, which is to provide support through the wage and rent subsidy programs with a subsidy of up to, again, 50%, which is important. Those programs will be available to May 7th as well, with the subsidy rates going through to March 13th of 2022. And from March 13th to May 7th, the subsidy rates would start to sort of proportionally be tapered off. And the last is the Tourism and Hospitality Recovery Program. So that wouldn't necessarily apply to all places in the Junction, but arguably it could. But it's to affect things like hotels, tour operators, travel agencies, and restaurants with a subsidy rate of up to 75%. So the restaurants in the Junction would be eligible for those kinds of programs. I think you know sort of how well received things like the Emergency Rent Subsidy, the Rent Subsidy, and the CWS programs were. In total, these programs were funding things to the total of $75 billion in the context of the wage subsidy, $7 billion in the context of the rent subsidy. And in something called the Highly Affected Sectors Program, there were $735 million in loans that were made available. There's also specific programs, because I know the Junction very rightfully and very and I'm proud to say that you've always had a strong sort of social justice lens to the work that you do as a BIA and generally as a community. Know that there's also a women's entrepreneurship strategy that is ongoing and a Black entrepreneurship strategy that is ongoing that targets both women entrepreneurs and obviously Black entrepreneurs for dedicated funding for those two demographics. So I'm happy to answer questions about those two programs separately. But Tanis, my assistant, is also on the call and she's taking some notes. And I'm happy to answer some questions either now or later on if any questions arise. But again, I'll end off where I started, saying that your BIA really does stand out amongst many. I can say that to you because I'm speaking to your BIA, but I hold it out as a bit of a model in terms of the social media work you do, the community engagement work that you do, and how you embrace the community with a lot of innovative projects that gather a lot of attention, and rightfully so. So I'll end it there. Thank you very much for having me. And again, I apologize for being a bit delayed.
Okay, thanks so much, MP Varani. We appreciate your support. And as for questions, I think we'll save them to the end, or they're probably things that can be asked of our office as well at a later time. And now I'd like to introduce Utila Carpoche, a member of Provincial Parliament for Parkdale High Park.
Thank you so much, Keo. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here again for your AGM this year. Since my community office is located in the Junction BIA is sort of our home BIA. And I just want to say, 2021 was also a challenging year for small businesses. And I hope that things are, now that things are a bit more open, things are beginning to look up. And despite the pandemic going on, the Junction BIA launched so many creative initiatives. You achieved so much. I'm sure Carol and Matthew will cover all of that later this evening. In the past year, my office and our team, we've been able to support many small businesses across the riding, including in the Junction, to receive the Ontario Small Business Support Grant. Many businesses were denied or simply never heard back from the ministry. And so it took a lot of pushing and advocating, in some cases over 6 months, chasing ministry staff, raising it as an issue in the legislature, speaking to the minister. And I'm very happy to also share that majority of the cases that came through our office were successfully resolved and businesses were able to receive the grant. Also very happy to lend my support to the Junction BIA for the Provincial Reconnect Festival and Events Program to, you were successful in getting that grant and to expand the Winter Wonderland exhibition, which I'm looking forward to. And I would say, finally, I just want to give a shout out to Carol and Matthew because they've just been really proactive in reaching out to our office, sharing information. I've really been glad to be able to work alongside them to advocate for small businesses in the Junction. And as always, my office is there to help. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, MPP Carpoche. We're glad to know you have our back, and thank you for acknowledging our staff as well. They are amazing. Now, kindly join me in welcoming Councillor Gord Perks, Councillor for Ward 4 and a BIA board member, to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. I know you've got a long agenda, so I'll be super quick. I just wanted to alert you to two decisions we made at council last week. The first is that we are going to be extending the CaféTO program indefinitely, not over the winter months, but every year going forward. So that's now going to be a permanent feature, and you know, one of the best spots in the city that in terms of the CaféTO program is definitely in the Junction BIA. So that's great news. The other is that council has established a tax reduction of 15% for small business properties in the city of Toronto. There are some rules around the value of the land and the floor plate of the business. And the rebate for mechanical legal reasons has to formally be given to the property owner. But we did a survey of leases generally, and it seems that in most cases, the taxes are on the lease. So for most businesses, it will automatically be transferred, but you might want to think about how you're going to manage that within this area. And if you have any questions about the criteria or how that works, I'll be happy to get into them. Like I said, I know you've got lots and lots to do, so I'll stop there. There's more I can tell you, but frankly, the BIA is so often in touch with my office. I think we're all good. Take care, everybody.
Great, thank you, Councillor. We know how much you and your team do to help our BIA. And finally, we'd like to recognize John Kiru, who is the Executive Director of Tabia, and he is expected here tonight. And John attends many of the city's BIA AGMs. There's 85. We appreciate his ongoing commitment. Now I'd like to introduce your elected members of the Junction BIA Board of Management. The board is comprised of members of the BIA, just like yourselves. They are local property and business owners. These board members volunteer their time and effort into oversight of the annual budget and plan of action. This work requires dedication and care to make transparent decisions that benefit all members equally. By acting in cooperation under the united identity of the Junction BIA, we can best create the supports needed for all of us to thrive. While I deeply appreciate the conscientious contributions of my fellow board members who take care to serve our membership responsibly, dare I say it, a position on the board can be fun. It's a great way to develop relationships and gain professional experience. If you would like to be considered for a board position, please reach out. If you would like to start smaller, exploring your interest in the BIA, let us know so we can contact you for streetscaping or marketing working groups. If you are a member, you have valuable insights and your participation is integral to the ongoing success of this business community, so don't be shy. Recognizing my fellow board members and staff, thanks to each of you for your valued contributions, Vice Chair Janet DiBernardo, Treasurer Dan Yurchuk, and Directors Jiling Lee, Heather Phillips, Manny Solnick, and Councillor Gord Perks. We would also like to acknowledge our Economic Partnership Advisor, Marianne Sturrock, and Capital Projects Coordinator, Danielle Davis from the City of Toronto. Your BIA staff are led by Carol Jolly, Executive Director, and include Matthew Moen, Operations Manager, and Taylor Goulard, Marketing Manager. Thank you all. I look forward to hearing from some new voices that would like to get involved with us. A BIA is an association of commercial property owners and tenants within a defined area who work in partnership with the city to create thriving, competitive, and safe business areas that attract shoppers, diners, tourists, and new businesses. As a BIA member, the best way to participate in decision-making is to get involved. So again, we encourage you to join our working groups, marketing and streetscaping. This volunteer work could be the first step in representing the community further as a potential board member. Working groups are created as needed on a project-by-project basis to contribute valuable and functional insights into improvements that we make. Our strategic plan has been approved by the board and membership. These are our guiding principles and our ongoing work to support you, our members, and the community. If there are any conflicts of interest with tonight's agenda, please type conflict in the chat box, or if you're on the phone, you can raise your hand by pressing *9 on your keypad. Again, the chat button will be at the bottom of your computer or phone screen, but if you don't see it, click on the 3 dots also at the bottom. And we'll just wait a minute, and Taylor, you let me know if we have any conflicts.
We don't have any conflicts at this time.
Okay. Seeing no conflicts, the 2020 AGM minutes are posted on our website and have been made available to each of you upon pre-registration. From those in attendance, are there any corrections to the 2020 AGM minutes? Please type correction in the chat box. No corrections, Taylor?
No, at this time, there are no corrections.
Okay, great. Seeing none, I request a motion to approve the 2020 AGM minutes as shared. I see that this motion is moved by Janet, thank you, and seconded by Dan, thank you. For this motion, we will conduct an official poll of all members. Please do not vote if you are not a BIA member. We will have placed the acronym NVM for non-voting member by your name to remind you not to vote. So the voting poll should now have popped up onto your screen. Non-members can close this poll. Members only, please click either in favor, opposed, or abstain, and then hit submit, and you have 1 minute to do so.
This is your 10-second warning.
All right, voting is now closed. It looks like we have a pretty clear majority. However, if anyone is opposed, we welcome you to contact the office so that we can address your concerns in a personal meeting. The motion to approve the 2020 AGM minutes as shared is passed. This has been the first vote of the evening, and I would like to thank you for your cooperation. We'll be using the same format moving forward. It's now my pleasure to take you through some of the highlights of the past year. The details in this presentation form our annual general report of record, so bear with us as we move through this as quickly as possible. It's important we be thorough so we remain accountable to you, the members, but I also think you'll enjoy reviewing our recent achievements that add to the evolution of this great neighborhood. And kindly save your questions for the end of the meeting. We acknowledge the struggle and the losses of too many businesses this year, but we are delighted to welcome 18 new members since our last AGM. We apologize if we've missed anyone or if corrections are needed. Please bring it to our attention after the meeting. In alphabetical order, new businesses include Antidote Wellness Lab, a Thai Bistro, Beachman Bikes, Bella Roche, Cassandra Moy Design, Epic Cycles, Fit Journey, Good Coffee Bar, Green Maple Cannabis, Healthy Moms Market, High Park Cannabis Company, Noctua Bakery, Pizzeria Libretto, PB Tasty, Roy's Cream, Superette Shop, Taylor Hazel Architects, and the Bakery Cannabis. Thank you all for making the Junction your home. And a special mention goes to Articulations, Later, Art and Style, and Full Stop Cafe for their fortunate relocations to beautiful new spaces, happily still within the Junction. Congratulations to all. We considered pursuing a new expansion of the BIA boundaries, west only to Clendenin Avenue and east to Annette Street, following interest expressed by multiple business and property owners. We felt confident that a united Junction business community would strengthen our current BIA, allowing us to beautify the east and west gateways and drive more significant foot traffic into the neighborhood. However, we would only seriously pursue an expansion if survey results showed a clear desire for the BIA to expand. Unfortunately, we received only 27 responses from a potential of 91 or 30%. Lack of survey responses showed low interest in expanding the BIA. This was a disappointment to many current and potential new members. However, our efforts taught us a lot about the neighborhood, created valuable relationships with close neighbors, and we are stronger for it. According to our bylaw, there will be a 2-year moratorium on further expansion. So at this time, the board is not considering any future major expansions. To share our 2021 marketing and communications highlights, please welcome our Executive Director, Carol Jolly.
You're muted, Carol.
Oh, great.
Hi, Carol.
Oh, let's unmute. Hold on a
We
second.
can hear you now, Carol.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Hi. 2021 marks the beginning of our recovery. The COVID crisis has changed all of our lives and how we support the businesses that make the Junction such a wonderful neighborhood. As the saying goes, we're all in this together. Keo, on behalf of the board and staff, we sincerely appreciate your ongoing leadership. Our accomplishments are directly linked to our respect for one another, so thank you for the faith that you have placed in all of us. BIA board members serve in a volunteer capacity, and we all directly benefit from their time, attention, resources, and expertise. So please, everyone, don't be shy to thank them for their services at your next opportunity. Our reach through social media and our mailing list have grown substantially, giving us access to almost 28,000 opt-in subscribers. This increased digital following has become a lifeline for our organization. Our highest performing posts of 2021 have been our CaféTO video with over 19,000 impressions, our CaféTO Parklet highlights with over 11,000, and our post highlighting the opening of a new business, Noctua Bakery, with over 9,000 impressions. So a reminder to you all that the best way for us to like and share your posts is for you to use the hashtag JunctionTO and tag at Toronto Junction. In 1 year, our Instagram followers have grown to more than 12,000. That's a 34% increase, and our total impressions across all platforms is over 66,000. We all know how important it is to expand our digital reach, and we are positioned to take advantage of this outstanding growth. Having a significant following on social media allows us to promote our members to an increasingly broad audience. This serves as a testament to the vibrancy and prosperity of our neighborhood. We continue to support the fundraising initiatives launched last year as they work to solidify our Junction brand. Our jigsaw puzzles and our merchandise have raised almost $7,000. Our Member of the Month has featured 20 businesses, with 6 more already booked until May 22. This campaign gives you exposure to almost 28,000 subscribers and ongoing website presence. If you have an exciting story to tell and would like to be featured, reach out to us and we will find you a spot next year. Our member directory features a comprehensive listing of all BIA businesses, including everything from your company description and photos to Google reviews. This resource is an ongoing effort to consolidate all member information to allow visitors to see all the Junction has to offer in one place. Please ensure you are taking advantage of this additional web presence. Our member communications have become more important than ever. With an uncertain and ever-changing situation, we stay committed to delivering each new update through regular emails. We continue to speak with business owners both one-on-one and in organized groups. Many concerns are brought to Tabia, whom we now meet with bi-weekly via Zoom. Meetings are attended by elected officials who help influence actual policy changes, such as successfully extending the wage and rent subsidies. As your representatives, we keep an eye on the neighborhood and we report issues that affect businesses to city departments and other stakeholders. On any given day, we can be involved in anything from ensuring that street furniture is in good repair to lobbying for lower permit fees and property taxes. And as Gord shared earlier, we are so pleased that Council has recently made a decision to reduce small business property tax by 15%. And that's in no small part due to the ongoing efforts of Tabia. This is by no means an exhaustive list. If you are facing issues that are affecting your business, please reach out to us. We may be able to help you or point you in the direction of those who can. Of the many opportunities for assistance provided to your business, here are 4 that we want to highlight. The first 3 grants are part of the city's commercial improvement plan, which will better respond to pre-existing conditions and new challenges impacting Toronto's main streets. Returning is the commercial facade improvement program, which provides up to $12,500 in matched funds to redesign, renovate, or restore your building facade, available in the new year. The new commercial rehabilitation grant will provide up to $20,000 in match funds for interior improvements such as lighting, accessibility, or public safety improvements. And applications are open this Monday. The new commercial and industrial property improvement program will provide up to $7,500 in match funds for exterior property and site improvements such as patio, fencing, or permanent landscaping, available in time for patio season this spring. And finally, we recommend that all members take advantage of the CFTED audits made available by Toronto Police, 11 Division. They will conduct an individual assessment of your business and provide personalized crime prevention tips. The Digital Main Street team has met with over 65 Junction businesses, providing free one-on-one online support, essential now more than ever. With financial assistance from all 3 levels of government, this outstanding service offers recommendations to enhance your digital capabilities. It helps with everything from web presence to software tools and social media strategies. The DMS team also released a 3rd revival of the $2,500 digital transformation grant to help businesses boost their digital footprint. It is only available to those businesses who have not received it previously. They have supported 58 local businesses, representing a total investment in the Junction of $145,000 for the benefit of all. Applications are open until the end of the month, so please do apply now. Before I share our accomplishments and updates on events and programs in the Junction, please allow me a moment to commend my outstanding staff. Many of you have had the pleasure of meeting Matthew Moen, our operations manager, and already know that he is very personable and professional. Matt is a valued member of the team with an exceptional work ethic. He has played an essential role in our success and has demonstrated his adaptability and flexibility to work under pressure. These are essential attributes and necessary for our unique environment. Administratively and technically, he is the go-to in the office, and his resourcefulness makes him a great asset to the BIA. With the assistance of the Canada Summer Jobs Grant and the Connect Youth TO Employment Program, we were delighted to find Taylor Goulard, who joined us in the spring as our marketing manager. She oversees the development of content on our website, newsletters, social media, and sponsor solicitation. Taylor fits in very well, and we are grateful for her exceptional organizational skills and her lively flair in creating compelling social media content. So 2021 has been a challenging year for all of us, and new situations are commonplace in the BIA world. However, the team has shown their dedication to our purpose in wholeheartedly supporting you, our members. So a big thank you to Taylor and to Matt. Following our last AGM and closing off 2020, we launched the Junction first annual Window Wonderland to combat the decreasing foot traffic we see in the winter, intensified by the pandemic. Ontario went into lockdown immediately after we opened and continued through the holidays, significantly impacting local businesses and our ability to maximize this event. Visitors can see each installation come to life by simply pointing your phone cameras at the large-scale artwork displayed on the windows. It provided patrons with a unique and a safe way to engage with public art while supporting local artists and businesses at a time when regulations prohibited almost everything else. This public art exhibition featured 10 engaging painted windows combined with animation using augmented reality technology, gratefully presented by our very own Meds. Junction Pharmacy, Window Wonderland offered COVID-safe fun for everyone. We are proud to report that survey feedback, foot traffic monitoring, and social media analytics proved that the exhibition was a great achievement. We safely welcomed approximately 8,100 visitors to the exhibition. Nearly 100% of attendees said that they would recommend it to family and friends, and they would like to see Window Wonderland return. Plus, the fact that 1/3 of the attendees reported traveling from outside of the Junction, even during a lockdown, is a testament to the event's ability to drive tourism. We are also happy to know that Window Wonderland directly impacted our business community. For example, 9 out of 10 window partners, those who had their windows painted, felt that the exhibition increased their business exposure. Additionally, survey results showed that 75% of our attendees visited and discovered other businesses while they were in the Junction. There was a significant increase in our social media presence, with exhibition marketing being almost 100% digital. Window Wonderland increased our followers by an additional 2,700. We garnered 65 media hits, including features in CBC, Saturday News, and the Globe and Mail, with a total of over 28 million impressions. A detailed final report is available on our website. Ultimately, we overcame a challenge with great success. Our efforts did not go unnoticed. We were recently awarded the 2020 OBIA Award for Best Initiative for the inaugural Window Wonderland exhibition, and there were only 3 awards given out across the province. In March, with the support of a winter activation grant from the city, we introduced Shop the Junction to Win campaign, a turnkey program that increased foot traffic and sales during the lockdown. Customers were responsible for submitting Google reviews and their receipts for a chance to win a cash prize, and they shared it with a local business. Our first round of the campaign received over 3,000 entries. Not only did it encourage customers to spend money in the Junction, but it also increased our BIA's digital audience by over 1,100. With an incremental spend of over 54,000 and survey results indicating additional spending following the contest period, we saw an impressive economic impact of over 100,000. The CaféTO program returned to the Junction for the 2nd consecutive year with an expedited process to install patios on private property, sidewalks, and curb lanes. Restaurants and bars were able to create physical distancing for patrons all summer long. Let's see how we did. Thanks, Matt. For 5 months, from June to November, the Junction was transformed with 52 unique patios and over 17,000 square feet of additional outdoor dining space, elevating the pedestrian experience for residents and visitors alike. CaféTO aimed to restore vibrancy and bring back the art and culture encompassing the Junction. In addition, the program sought to draw an increase in foot traffic to support the entire business community. These 4 public parklets were the perfect place to linger. With various themes and decor, they all brought their own unique flair to the neighborhood. We are grateful to these partners for their enhancement of the CaféTO experience. We created 5 different social media campaigns to amplify CaféTO this past summer. Starting with our patio highlights, we showcased over 50 patios individually, as well as our 4 parklets. We also featured our new special offers program developed to highlight our retailers. We hired a photographer and a videographer to capture the essence of our patios by night and by day. Our total impressions for all 5 campaigns were over 85,000. CaféTO was a resounding achievement, and we received outstanding media coverage as a result, with 19 media posts and total impressions of over 34 million. Most notably, the Star featuring the Junction and naming us Patio Lovers Paradise. The city released a survey in September to gather feedback on CaféTO, and half of all participating businesses had no outdoor dining before this program. 83% said that it prevented their business from closing. Overall, the city considers this program a huge success, which is in large part to their decision to make it a permanent part of Toronto's streetscape. So CaféTO is here to stay. In addition to the city survey, we also released our own Junction-specific survey in our efforts to make evidence-based decisions on your behalf. The response we received from nearly 600 business owners and visitors was very positive news. Not only did the program increase revenue for participants, but we also found that over 3/4 of CaféTO patrons visited or discovered other Junction businesses. The average spend per person during this time was $75, holding steady from last year. 1/3 of our patrons seemed to be traveling from outside of the Junction neighborhood. 100% of operators reported that they were happy with the level of support that they received from the BIA, which is up from 93% previously. The most considerable challenge we saw come out of the survey was that 13% of drivers reported having trouble finding parking, almost double the response we received last year. So with this concern in mind, we will be working towards finding a better balance between our need for patios and our need for parking, and significantly cutting down on any unused curb lane space. It's no surprise that 94% of respondents want to see the program return to the Junction next year. Local owner of Snug as a Bug commented, and I quote, CaféTO is a fantastic way to keep restaurants open and their staff safe. It adds so much to the neighborhood, and I honestly can't imagine not having CaféTO. Through data collection from Geomarketing Solutions and a citywide Tabia survey and our own analytics, we estimate an economic impact of over $27 million. In September, Shop the Junction to Win, with Shop the Junction to Win being such a success, we suggested a partnership with 3 neighboring BIAs in the West End to offer an even bigger contest. Local realtors, Sidorova Inwood, stepped up to sponsor the first of its kind collaborative campaign. By cross-promoting with Bloor West, Roncesvalles, and Babby Point BIAs, patrons discovered businesses in neighborhoods that they may not have been familiar with. The grand prize winner shopped in the Junction and actually resides in Liberty Village, which proves our thinking that we are stronger together. The Shop Local team is preparing their final report, so we have a couple of initial stats to share. First, this campaign had over 1,600 Junction-specific entries with over 200 new opt-in mailing list subscribers. So we look forward to sharing the final report on this campaign in the coming months. Since we were awarded the Provincial Reconnect Festival and Event Program grant, as well as a grant from the City of Toronto Innovation Fund, we have been able to grow our second annual Window Wonderland exhibition substantially. This year, we have doubled it in size as we increased our installations with your help from 10 to 20 windows, which means we can now support an additional 20 talented artists and create even more magic in our city. Just yesterday, we shared news of our event through a province-wide media release, and today we secured a segment on Canada's best morning show, Breakfast TV. So we're off to a great start. Partnering with a new internationally recognized AR app called Artivive, we will showcase 20 local businesses with interactive painted windows and murals, linking classical and digital art through animation. This exhibition allows artists to create new dimensions with a digital layer, opening a whole new world of possibilities. We are featuring 40 local and international artists. By tapping into Artivive's extensive database of over 10,000 artists, we've really raised the caliber of our animations. Through this opportunity, artists are given the training and experience to adapt their skills in augmented reality technology, which allows emerging and established artists to stay competitive and diversify their portfolios. Our extensive marketing collateral serves as an instructional and welcoming notice to visitors. Even if you're not a Window Wonderland partner, we encourage all member businesses to decorate their windows for this season. Likewise, supporting local is one of the hallmarks of our BIA. With creative thinking and collaboration, we've now turned a challenging circumstance into an incredible outdoor exhibition. Window Wonderland presents an opportunity for us to experience art in an entirely new way, large scale, brought to life on our storefronts. The collaboration between the BIA, Artivive, the artists, and of course our valued partners and sponsors have contributed to making Window Wonderland a unique and memorable event. Thank you to Meds Junction Pharmacy for returning as our presenting sponsor. We hope to see everyone here at the exhibition that opens in 9 days. And now to share our 2021 streetscaping program, please welcome back Keel, our board chair. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Carol. I have to apologize. I'm not able to join by video right now. So you'll just have to listen and imagine me. So together with staff, the Streetscape Working Group supports the design, delivery, and installation of streetscape operations and advises the board regarding area development and points of issue on a project basis. With the addition of our 132 new large and permanent self-watering planter boxes, we have increased landscaping across the board with colorful flowers. At the same time, we removed those concrete slabs at Keel and Dundas to install our new Junction butterfly garden, which is overflowing with pollinator-friendly plants and providing an engaging site for those entering the neighborhood. We have already seen an increase in butterflies this summer. Here you can see how the butterfly garden exploded into a jungle of colorful blooms in a matter of months. It looks great. It's a real gateway to our neighborhood, and it's a very nice welcome. We are also happy to report our strong relationship with our landscaper, Parkdale Green Thumb, a local social enterprise that employs residents who have experienced barriers to employment due to mental health, addiction, homelessness, and newcomer or refugee issues. They only use environmentally friendly fertilizers, which protect our water supply. And the money we invest in all of our landscaping projects supports their leadership and pre-employment programs. We hope you've enjoyed the increase in landscaping, and we are excited about even more to come next spring. We are proud to have installed Toronto's first ever interactive augmented reality mural to coincide with the launch of CaféTO. Designed in partnership with local artists and the internationally acclaimed AR app Artivive, this mural set the stage for our CaféTO branding and will live on in the Junction indefinitely. Following the considerable results of the Junction Beautification Team program, we decided to step up our game even more by working with a professional street maintenance service. Not only does a professional service guarantee quick cleanups of litter and graffiti, but their tracking system makes for more efficient reporting and follow-ups of street asset issues. These photos show what a difference Street Graffiti Solutions has made in cleaning and beautifying the area. When we had to switch to another contractor due to labor shortages, we were able to seamlessly transition to working with Parkdale Green Thumb, who also manage our landscaping. Working approximately 18 hours a week, up from 12 the year before, the team removes litter, broken glass, and cigarette butts, clears graffiti from public and occasionally commercial property, tackles overgrown weeds, and reports additional issues back to the BIA through our custom tracking system. We hope that you agree this program has made a big difference. We have accomplished a lot this year. 3 years ago, your board committed to a change in structure, which included the hiring of Carol Jolly, a person whose experience and skill level in event management, marketing, and development exceeded our own. Carol has shown fierce commitment from day one to achieving results for our neighborhood with the utmost efficiency, always with the success of every member in mind, and with a grand vision for our united brand. I have so enjoyed working with Carol. She has made board involvement a pleasure, but more importantly, she has allowed our organization to reach such levels of effectiveness that we can provide the highest quality of member support. We are very happy to see the increase in member participation that Carol's team has fostered through their consistently prompt and thorough responses to member concerns. I'm pleased now to share our proposed plan for 2022. Moving into 22, we plan to build on our already solid foundation. In marketing, we will continue to grow our digital presence, develop our member directory, member resources, and member of the month feature. In addition, the necessity and effectiveness of social media networking is evident. So please continue to like and share our social media posts with your audience. The more we continue to establish our shared online presence, the greater collective draw we have to potential patrons. Together, we create a destination neighborhood of great quality goods, services, and experiences. CaféTO has provided us with an opportunity to view the summer differently. Planning for next year, we will work with the city to better involve all members, minimize unused curb lane space, open up more parking, and make it easier for operators to install safe and beautiful patio structures. It's very much like having a festival every day. By investing in Window Wonderland, we can sustain increased foot traffic over several months, garner media opportunities, and support artists with a unique event that puts the Junction on the map. Additionally, we are on track to support all of our members year-round through safe and innovative programs like CaféTO in the summer and Window Wonderland in the winter. We will reinvest in an experienced third-party street maintenance company for improved street beautification and cleanliness. We feel confident this professional service provides a more extensive cleaning program for the neighborhood. As well, we will maintain our streetscaping efforts as we design and deliver year-round plantings. Over the last few years, we've received comments from members about the cleanliness of the laneways behind our storefronts, which members of our community frequently use. When we learned about the Laneway project, we embraced the opportunity to partner with the social enterprise of innovative planners, designers, and placemakers to transform neglected public spaces into living public space. Following an assessment of the BIA's laneways, Jackson Place was selected to provide the most opportunities for improvement, including new green space and public art. This video will give you an idea of what we can expect for the Junction next fall.
Many people see laneways as utilitarian, places for recycling bins, abandoned furniture, and delivery trucks. Often laneways are neglected, seen as unsafe and unsavory places to be avoided. This is largely the laneway experience throughout the city. But are we missing an opportunity? That's an important question to ask because Toronto is undergoing dramatic change. More people call our city home than ever before. And as urban density increases, so does the need for local, small-scale public space, places to foster community and exchange. Laneways present a tremendous opportunity. The city has more than 2,400 of them, stretching more than 250 linear kilometers. Put together, that's more space than 2/3 of Toronto's High Park. What if we saw these laneways not for what they are, but for what they could become? Can we turn our laneways into safe, vibrant, and interesting spaces? From greenery and informal play space to art and community festivals, could laneways become thriving urban places? It's important to remember that Toronto's vast network of laneways are part of the city's infrastructure. Laneways throughout the city are governed by their own constraints and requirements, from unique access needs to zoning restrictions. That's where the Laneway project comes in. We've been partnering with communities across Toronto since 2014 to navigate these constraints, to find opportunities, and turn community vision into reality. The Laneway project is an innovative urban design and planning organization working to realize the potential of laneways. From shaping municipal policy to physically improving safety and attractiveness, we're fundamentally changing the city's relationship to its laneways. Get in touch with us. Let us know about your laneway experience, idea, or initiative.
That is very exciting. I am one of those members that utilizes the laneways frequently, and I'm really looking forward to that. Building on the popularity of our Muskoka chairs and keeping with our Streetscape master plan to create more meeting places and add consistent branding, we next aim to tackle the wide variety of worn-out benches that have accumulated in our community. Public seating creates a comfortable, usable, and active environment where people can rest, socialize, read, or people watch. The ability to entice people to linger is a hallmark of a great and successful public space. Now, I would like to welcome our 2020 auditor, Rafiq Dasani, to review the 2020 auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I'm going to present to you 2020 audited statements. They were prepared under the leadership of your executive director as well as a treasurer by your bookkeeper, and my responsibility as your auditor is to make sure they complete and present you fairly. If you have the slide, I'd like you to go one page up, please. If you don't worry about it. My report is on page 1 and 2, which indicate I got all the information. These statements are present to you fairly. As of December 31st, 2020, BI had cash in the bank 104,000. You did short-term investment 100,000. Receivable from city 72,000. City normally keeps certain funds for potential write-off. If the amounts are larger, they pass it over to you. Your other receivable 39,000, and your payable to city is cost share 56,000, other payable 23,000. Madam Chair, you have a clean surplus of 237,000, invested 84,000 in your capital assets. For 2022, at your AGM, your membership requested the city to collect 340,000, city collected 361,000. There were changes in assessment in your favor, and you got 20,000 more than your budget. Grants, you budgeted 12,000, you received 14,000. Festival and other revenue, you budgeted 31, you received 44,000. So your revenue was approximately 37,000 higher than you budgeted. And your plan was to spend 440,000, you spent 377. So Madam Chair, you had a surplus of 43,000, combined with the previous year's surplus of 278, your total surplus was 321,000, out of which, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, you already invested 84,000 in capital assets and the clean surplus of 237,000. Madam Chair, this has to be taken into account in your 2022 budgets, and this surplus is almost 8 months levy, which is not very high or very low. It's just reasonable for size of this BIA. Madam Chair, these are your financial statements. If anybody's any question on the audit, I can answer.
Any questions for Rafiq?
There are no questions at this time.
Okay.
No.
I request a motion to adopt the 2020 audited financial statements as presented. I see that this motion is moved by Heather and seconded by Manny. Thank you. The voting poll should now have popped up onto your screen. Non-members can close this poll. Members only, please click either in favor, opposed, or abstain, and then hit submit. You have 1 minute.
This is your 10-second warning.
Okay, the motion to adopt the 2020 audited financial statements as presented has passed. I see we have a couple abstaining. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our office at a later time. Thank you, Rafiq. We appreciate your professional services over the years. Rafiq, can you kindly lead the meeting, please, and we will inform you of the next results.
Thank you very much.
I now request a motion to appoint Rafiq Dasani as the auditor for the 2021 financial statements. I see that this motion is moved by Dan and seconded by Janet. Thank you. The voting poll should now have popped up onto your screen. Again, non-members can close this poll. Members only, please click either in favor, opposed, or abstain, and then hit submit. You have 1 minute.
This is your 10-second warning.
And the motion is passed. Rafiq Dasani is approved as our auditor for 2021. To walk us through the board's 2022 proposed budget, please join me in welcoming Dan Yurchuk, our board treasurer. Over to you, Dan.
Thanks, Kyo. Hi, everyone. So here we have our 2022 budget summary. If you could please save your questions for the end. So as you can see, there are 3 columns. In the first 2 columns, and as required by the city, we will explain any significant variances, plus or minus 10%, between the 21 approved budget, which is column A, versus the projected annuals, which is column B. So if you please see the total revenues row, although we received less than anticipated from the Canada Summer Jobs Grant, the total revenue at $506,000 came in higher due to securing new event sponsorships, grants, and other fundraising revenue streams, so at about $135,000 over budget. As far as expenditures, now explaining significant variances, plus or minus 25%. Festivals and events at $216,000 versus $75,000 reflects the increase in sponsorships and grants. Our deficit for 21 is projected to be less than $3,000 versus $32,000, which was originally budgeted. So next, an explanation of any significant variances between the 2022 proposed budget, which is column C, versus the 21 approved budget, again, column A. Please see the revenues row. Although we cannot guarantee grants and sponsorship revenue, we anticipate that our team will secure new sources of funding totaling $420,000 in revenue. As far as expenditures, the Streetscape capital improvements includes $98,000 for the new benches. The promotion and communication costs and festival and event costs are increased as we use funds raised to enhance our 2 signature events, Wonderland and CaféTO. Our $97,000 decrease in the 22 surplus reflects the capital investment in streetscaping. And without it, we would have a balanced budget as compared to previous years. We have been successful in bringing this number down annually so that we are only using our reserve for special projects approved by the board. And by the end of next year, the balance remaining in our reserve will be approximately $137,000. So if there are any questions, please type the word question in the chat box. Taylor, let me know if there's anything.
I'm going to give them a couple more seconds, but it looks like we don't have any questions at this time.
Okay, so with no further comments or questions, Kyo, please return to lead the final motions of the evening.
Okay, thank you, Dan. I request a motion to approve the 2022 budget as presented. And I see that this motion is moved by Dan and seconded by Manny. Thank you. And here we go again. The voting poll should have now popped up onto your screen. Members only, please click either in favor, opposed, or abstain and submit. You have 1 minute. Non-members can close this poll.
This is your 10-second warning.
All right, the 2022 budget is approved. I see we have a small amount of opposition. which if you have questions, we can bring it up in a moment in our allotted time for further business, or if it's more appropriate, you can save it and speak to our office at a later time. So to conclude the meeting, does anyone present have questions or other business that they wish to discuss? Please type the word question or other business in the chat box. And I'd just like to remark that this budget is very much a good news story, and thank you, Carol. We basically have a balanced budget after just a couple years of Carol being with us, which allows us to use our surplus intentionally for big projects such as replacing benches in the neighborhood rather than eating away at our surplus slowly simply because we're going over budget. But please, if anyone has any questions.
It looks like we don't have any questions at this time.
If I could just bring something up, sort of in other business, just a quick comment. And you know, I'm a relatively new member of the board, but I'd also like just to mention that I am a member of more than one BIA in the city, and I just wanted to point out the amazing work that's being done for our membership here in the Junction. It really stands out as exceptional in what I've seen in my other experiences. The work being done by Carol, Matthew, the team, and on all levels, communication, dealing with the pandemic, the innovation, and just making the Junction a great destination really is unmatched. And we're very, very fortunate for all of your tireless work. Thank you very much. Just wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. I totally agree. That was well said. Anyone else with further business? That's all, Taylor?
Yep, that's all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? I see that this motion is moved by Heather and seconded by Janet. Are there any opposed? If so, please type the word opposed in the chat box. And Taylor, let me know.
It doesn't look like anyone's opposed at this time.
Okay. Hearing and seeing none, it is 8:16 p.m. and the meeting is now closed. Thank you all so much for joining us today. On behalf of the BIA board and staff, we look forward to working with you all in the coming year. And remember, if you are interested, please get involved. Happy holidays.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.